Hi, my name's Andrew Cousins. I'm Business Development Manager here at OmniEngage. Today I'm going to take you on a whistle-stop tour of the Supervisor Connect desktop, and I'll be touching upon some of the platform's core features and functionality. At the end of the demonstration, I'll also give you a sneak peek of OmningageIQ, which is our dedicated wallboard and reporting suite. First things first, when a supervisor logs into Supervisor Connect, they're greeted with a number of different widgets. These widgets are fully responsive, so the supervisor can rearrange the layout to suit their own personal preference. Of course, when they log back into the platform, the system remembers their choices and lays out the widgets like when they left off. Supervisors can use Supervisor Connect very similar to an Agent Connect in the sense that they can answer interactions across omni-channel. So the use case for this could be that they are looking to queue bust. Perhaps the contact center is experiencing high call volumes. Well, the supervisor can certainly help their team by logging in and answering interactions across multiple channels. And they include voice, web chat, email, SMS, video, and also social media, so WhatsApp and Facebook. To do that, the supervisor would simply need to make themselves ready using agent state controls, and they would be able to intercept interactions across multiple channels. Back to the widgets. The supervisor has a visual queue statistics. Very similar to a wall board, they can see pretty much everything that's going on within the departments associated to them as a supervisor. As you can see, they can see who's available, the agents that are not ready, contacts handled, contacts in the queue, and any contacts that have been abandoned. They can also see the longest call in the queue, average hold time, average handling time, average answering time, and the SLA. So how is this department performing against service level agreements? The supervisor has the ability to select or deselect the various different departments, so they can quite easily view the departments that they're responsible for. The platform's updated every 10 to 15 seconds, so the supervisor is always fingers to the pulse and they can understand exactly what is going on in each department. Topicalization. This is showing the supervisor the exact reasons why customers are making contact with the contact center. In this case, over the last month, the most popular reason why customers are making contact with the contact center environment is with a new ticket sale. Second is price and inquiry, and then in third is flight confirmation. Again, the supervisor can manipulate the information, perhaps to see over the last fortnight, the last week, or even over the last 24 hours. We also show the supervisor agent statistics, so they can see overall who's logged in, who's ready, who's not ready, and who's busy, as well as the overall average handling time and average hold time. QSLA, is Q Service Level Agreement, is showing the supervisor how their departments are performing against set level agreements. The supervisor also has visibility on customer feedback score for their team. You can select an appropriate date range, and the supervisor can easily see how customers are perceiving the interactions that their valuable agents are delivering. In this case, we can see that 27 surveys were offered, 27 were completed, 20 were promoters, 3 passive scores, and 4 demoters. The overall team's net promoter score is therefore 59, which is deemed as good in net promoter score terms. Should the supervisor handle interactions like an agent, they can go to recent activities where they've got an overview of all the different interactions that they've handled across multiple channels. Here you can see a web chat, you can see a Facebook interaction, as well as a WhatsApp interaction. And the supervisor can come here to expand the record, check the various different wrap-ups and tags associated, and any notes that are associated with these interactions. When a supervisor is in a not ready state, they have access to the phone book. IT managers can load in comprehensive records. Perhaps this could be all of their staff and any supervisors that they work with, as well as translators. All the supervisor would simply need to do is locate the contact number, click on it, click on the blue icon here to perform an outbound call. As you can see, there's a number of gold stars. If a supervisor is talking to someone on a frequent basis, they can nominate them as a favorite. Over in the Favorites tab is where all of the favorite contacts are stored, and the supervisor can perform a single click to dial to make an outbound call. Now, we've also integrated with Microsoft Teams, so the supervisor can see the present state of their contact center staff. They can see who's available, who's away, and who's currently busy. They can also, if somebody was available, for example, Ahmed Nizame, they can click on the contact number and make an outbound call to speak to that particular record. We've also built in internal chat, so the supervisor can liaise with their agents with ease. In this example, Andrew Cousins is available. I'll click on him and I'll send a very quick message wondering if he needs support. The agent actually gets a notification that they've received a message, and then they can collaborate and correspond with the supervisor. Another important key component in the Supervisor Connect desktop is Interaction Explorer. This is where supervisors can search and replay interactions across multiple different metrics. You can select an appropriate date range, and you can search and replay by the customer's name, their contact number. It could be searched and replayed by duration, so short interactions, long interactions. You can search and replay by agents, so you can isolate a particular agent or a team of agents, and you can deep dive into the interactions that they're responsible for. You can search and replay by wrap-ups. These are the outcome codes that the agents are entering and recording the main reason why the interaction took place. So I could search by all pricing inquiries, for example. I can also search by tags. Again, these are entered by the agent during or after an interaction with the customer. So I can search for all dissatisfied customers or all happy customers, for example. We can also search across multiple channels, so email, web chat, WhatsApp, Facebook, voice, or even tasks, as well as segments of calls. So I can search and replay by conference calls, consultations, and of course transfers. You can also search and replay by inbound and outbound traffic, so inbound calls, for example, or outbound calls. And if you've enabled customer feedback, you can search by low feedback or high feedback with ease. Let me give you an example of this. I'll isolate a particular agent and I'll search perhaps their voice interactions. I'll quickly apply that. The platform's done all the legwork for me and they've retrieved all of the call recordings associated with this particular agent. I can see that this interaction lasted 15 minutes and 37 seconds. Let's look at this. So you could expand the interaction and get more granular information. I can see some call details, agent data, metadata. I can also see the associated wrap-ups and tags. And in this particular instance, if you choose to enable it using Contact Lens, you can see customer sentiment. This is a brief overview of what happened with this interaction. I can see that neutral connotations exist for 64% of this call, positive for 12%, and there's some negative connotations around 24% of this call. If you enable it, you can use AWS Transcribe and look at the transcript of the interaction in its totality. You can search the transcript for keywords, and you can also download this particular transcript as well. You can also view the CRM just to check that this agent has done their job and they've filled out the important fields that need to be populated during this call with the customer. If you click on the play icon, a media player will start playing the interaction. You won't hear this. It's playing in my headset currently. You can fast forward the interaction. You can rewind it. You can also speed it up or slow it down. And you can jump to various different parts of this particular call recording. You can, if enabled, choose to download the call file. Perhaps this is a customer complaint and I want to send the customer the call recording. Well, whereas in the past it might be like finding a needle in a haystack, using Interaction Explorer, you can very quickly pinpoint the interaction of choice. From here, if you choose to enable it as well, you can delete the recording or the transcript. That can be enabled or disabled. So a very comprehensive, feature-packed search and replay facility, searching interactions across multiple different channels. The supervisor also has team monitoring, so they can look at every member of their team and see their present state, whether they're ready, not ready, or offline. I can see that Andrew Cousins has been ready for 29 minutes and 54 seconds. I can investigate that. I can also change the different states of this agent, so I can make them not ready and override using team monitoring. I can also view the history, so I can see all of the interactions this particular agent has handled, as well as any wrap-ups, tags, and notes. But I can also have a view of their state history. So in their shift, I can see when they've been made ready, when they're currently on interactions and connected, and I can also see when they're not ready. Queue statistics is an overview of all the different queues or departments associated with the particular supervisor. This is a demo environment, so it is looking a little bit bare, but in a live environment, you'd be able to see how many calls are in the queue, longest calls in the queue, agents that are ready, agents that are not ready, and average answering time. So that was a high-level overview of the Supervisor Connect solution. Moving on to OmningageIQ, which is our dedicated wallboard and reporting suite. Now, of course, Amazon Connect does offer a number of different reports that come out of the box, but this is a little bit more of an enhancement. As you can see, we have a number of reports available, standard reports, contact reports, queue reports, CRM reports, audit reports, and SLA reports on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have wrap-ups and tags, agent reports, consumption reports, callback reports, and task management reports. So a very comprehensive suite of varying different reports to help manage a modern contact center environment. Let me give you an example of a wrap-up and tag report. We'll go with wrap-up detailed report. So you can select an appropriate date range, which I'll just do very briefly. I'll use April as a start and end date. I'm interested in finding out what is the most popular wrap-up in the contact center. So for this case, I'll select all wrap-ups and I'll run that report. So we know in that date range, there were 104 different interactions, 48 of which were the outcome code or the wrap-up code new ticket sale. That represents 46% of those interactions in that time parameter. You can expand them and check the interactions that come under that particular wrap-up. So you could call this a trending report. This is showing the supervisor exactly what was the main reason customers were making contact within that date range. I'll give you another brief example of an agent performance report. Again, I will follow suit and I will select April, start of April to the end of April, and I'll select all agents. I'll quickly run that report. And what we're seeing here now is a very comprehensive report based around agent performance. As you can see across the top here, there are a number of different key drivers. You can export the reports for future reference, and we're actually working on the ability to schedule reports. So you can create a particular report template and then have that report sent to you via email at a scheduled date and time. Now, these are the reports that come out of the box, but of course, we're a team of innovators, so we're always looking to build new reports for our customers. Every customer has a different requirement, and we completely understand that here at OmniEngage. The last item I'd like to leave on is wallboards. Now, of course, most modern contact centers have displayed on plasma screens various different wallboards. So we do have the ability to create bespoke build and publish various different reports. This is an example report, but we are working towards the ability to create reports manually. So users will be able to use drag and drop, create various different widgets to form a wallboard, which can be presented on a plasma screen within the contact center environment. I'd like to thank you for joining today's demo session, and I welcome any questions that you may have. Thank you.